I'm an Injun, a Cree who grew up in one of the most isolated native communities on Earth, close to the Arctic Circle. Up here, we don't wear feathers or ride horses, but because of the movies, a lot of the world still thinks we do.
Neil Diamond's film Real Injun has been filling theaters across North America since it debuted last year at the Toronto International Film Festival.
There is one face that has become an American icon for all that is good about Native people.
He uses his platform as a director to show that the way Hollywood shows Natives isn't the whole story. His journey has taken him across Canada and the United States. Along the way, he took a look at the difference between Native life on screen.
I remember once we were on a set, the director says, I want a real Native. I said, I want a real Native up front. I want to see the real thing.
And his reality. After seeing Diamond's film, I wondered how my own view of Native people had been shaped by the media. How much do we Canadians actually know about First Nations people? TV and films tell us that they are the wise elder, the brave warrior, the noble Indian, or the savage. But these pictures can't explain everything. So I went on my own journey to see what I could find out about Natives in Canada. I thought filmmaker and Concordia University lecturer Clifton Nicholas would be an ideal guide.
Indian and not, I mean, for the general public, their notion of an Indian is a Lakota from the plains, you know,
Lakota pejuta heno hatash.
It really gets me when people expect, because you're Native, they expect that you can tell the sun, look at the sun and tell the time, or what's a good medicine for this, well, no, I don't know that, that's not me. There are people who do, but not everybody's like that.
Some of our favorite characters reinforce old ideas of what it means to be Native.
Okay, boys, here's a chance we've been awaiting for to capture the fort.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
These gents. Yow! Watch where you're shooting them arrows, you kitchen Injun.
Some newer faces are combating these ideas with humor.
What tribe are you from? I am a Navajo. I said, word. I studied you in social studies. You're a hunter-gatherer, correct? I said, I guess so. That's what you wish to call it. I said, why? What do you call it? He said, I am an alcoholic.
Nicholas says we use stereotypes to make sense of something we don't understand.
That's basically a human trait to do that, to when you don't understand an alien people, a different people, then you tend to want to put them in a certain context that fits your fantasy or fits, or try to fit it into your ideology and your concept of what a human being is. So yeah, it has deep roots. It's not just in film.
To find out more about the roots of these images and the effect they have in Canada, we went to Kahnawake, one of 2 native reserves within an hour's drive of Montreal. We didn't know what to expect. After all, the media reports about Mohawk people are often damning.
In addition to a veritable arsenal of weapons that included assault rifles and even a grenade launcher, police seized 250 pounds of marijuana and a small fortune in cash.
Pulled up. There was people all over.
Are you prepared to let our people move out?
No! I asked Jordan Standup, a young Mohawk journalist, what he thinks about the media's portrayal of his people. Standup works at Kahnawake's community newspaper, The Eastern Door.
I think it all comes back to, like I said, it being something that people don't know, and when you don't know, it becomes different, and when it's different, it's weird or it's wrong. I think.
At The Eastern Door, Standup and his colleagues want to be a voice for their community, but they also want to promote understanding within the non-native population of Canada.
If it goes outside of the community and a non-native gets our paper, we want them to get a little bit of what Kahnawake is really like, that we're like any other community. So it gives us the opportunity to tell our side and essentially the real story.
Stand Up says that's his biggest concern. He says big media, the bigs as he calls them, don't try hard enough to report the full story when it comes to news about Kahnawake or Native issues in general. He says that makes them an easy target for stereotypes because the reporting about them isn't balanced and there's no one outside the Native community who stands up and demands better coverage.
People can only really base it on what they see and how they feel. I mean, I can tell people till I'm blue in the face that we're just the same as you, and you know, we all breathe and we all bleed. But you know, it really comes down to the person wanting to know, or wanting to change their attitude, or wanting to not have those stereotypes on their own.
And Neil Diamond's film is one way to get non-natives interested in what's really happening in every Native community, rather than just what we see on TV or in film. Diamond says that recent Native-made films, such as the award-winning Fast Runner, are a good step. First and foremost, it must be realistic.
You know, like, we're human beings, and, you know, we're good and bad, and, you know, happy and sad, and, yeah, so, yeah, you just have to you just have to portray reality, you know, and then, it doesn't all have to be positive, and it doesn't all have to be negative, you know.